G'day Australian men and women, welcome back to Red Pill Sparky. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Viewers and listeners are advised to do their own research and to question everything always. And while you're on it, why don't you dissect a few things, things that are just sent to you and people just take it on face value, especially coming from certain corporations, and we'll talk about one in particular soon. I think it behoves us to kind of look into things. Scratch the surface a little, and you might see that you really are being pissed on and told that it's raining, if you didn't already know it. So I did that census video just a couple of days ago. Thanks very much to everyone who's watched that. Never too late to share it, even though that only comes out once every 4 years. Share it. People might learn something. That's the whole idea of this. Now, this one is all about a particular little fucking gem that somebody sent me. If you like what you see or hear on Red Pill Sparky and you want to help change the conversation, smash or turkey slap that subscribe button, or just actually press it. Let's be fucking sensible. Leave a comment, like and share. Love your work. Thank you so much. That's from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Now, it says, and this is, if this doesn't just reek of intelligence insulting, patronising, propaganda, the kind of thing you would see and hear in the Third Reich or in the Soviet Union, etc., or any communist country. If this doesn't belong in a place where there's those Art Deco posters on the wall, calling people comrades, and you've got those majestic looking, peasants drawn from below. And they stood there, and one's got his arm around the other, one's holding up a flag, one's got a pitchfork, all that shit, saying, all for the greater good, etc. Then I don't know what does. So this is from the ABS, and it says, is there a fine for not doing the census? Yes, but that doesn't mean you'll be fined for being a few days late. This is what it says. The ABS will contact you and encourage you to complete and submit your form first. Note the word submit, people. It's one of many, many words that we hear every day, and most people don't question it. But people are starting to question it. They're starting to realise the meaning, the true meaning of these words. And it's when you question it and you've got some minion, you're usually just talking to a program on the other end of the phone or behind a counter. You might as well be talking to AI, except this, in most cases, it's no I. When you question it, it's like trying to get a calculator to divide by zero. So when they say submit it, why don't you say send your form? When it's online, it says submit. What about, send, enter? When they say, have you registered at the counter? I register nothing. You can record my details. You cross out register and write record. They look at you with a face like a slapped ass. Because their system and the minions programmed to uphold the system just cannot fathom that there is a system. But that's changing. People are waking up. First thing about the matrix is recognising there is a matrix. You take the red pill, right? So, yes, but that doesn't mean you'd be fined for being a few days late in sending back your census, submitting your census. Come on, comrade, we wouldn't do that to you. Who have you been talking to? What do you think we are? The state is your friend. We wouldn't do that for being a few days late. We'll just encourage you to complete it and submit your form first. And then it says, we aim to get everyone to participate in the census voluntarily, an ABS spokesperson says. Oh, okay. We aim to get them to do it voluntarily. But if you don't volunteer, we'll coerce you. Now, that's my understanding of it. They don't use the word coerce. They might see it a different way. That's just really my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you think. Is this coercion? Now, I think it's quite insulting. If I was going to volunteer to do something and then I found out they were going to try to force me to do it anyway, I'd be mighty pissed off. For instance, I volunteered to do work for and fight fires with and risk my life with the volunteer fire service. Yeah? I also volunteer to do work at one or two op shops in town. Mainly I just do testing on their electrical stuff, and that helps them to sell their electrical gear, and they don't have to pay an electrician because I do it for free. Now, that's voluntary. Real quick, if you have an industry or managed super fund, chances are you're donating 12% of your wages to a multi-trillion-dollar investment firm who invested on stuff that would make you fucking sick. I talked to Chris from jarnsuper.com.au about all that in another video. Why don't you have a yarn with Jarn? Details are in the description. Your own self-managed super fund could buy you an investment home, a block of land, or gold or silver. And if you ask for the Red Pill Sparky discount, you'll get 10% off their already competitive setup fees. I volunteer my time to do that. More than happy to do so, no problem. But if they said to me, well, lucky you volunteered because we were going to stick you with this cattle prod if you didn't, yeah, I'd be very fucking pissed off about that. If you don't respond to this gentle nudge, the ABS may serve you with a written direction to complete the census. It's a gentle nudge. Come on, comrade, we're not going to fine you for being a few days late. No, I'm not the big bad wolf. I'm good cop. I'm the good cop. I'm the smiling good cop, like on the Lego movie. You know, I'm your friend. And I just give gentle nudges. I'd encourage you to complete and submit your form. Come on, comrade, do that. It's just easier for everybody. Then we get to, you don't have to dig too deep to see the true nature of these corporations and the people who work for them, right? This is a formal legal instruction, legal, mind you, not lawful, they say. And if you fail to comply, you could be prosecuted and fined. So, yeah, come on, you're only a few days late. Come on, just why don't you just fill it out? You'll feel better. You'll feel better. It's better for everybody. And if you fucking don't, we'll prosecute and fucking fine you. That's just a gentle nudge. Don't make me be bad cop. You know? I'm a good cop. Fill in the census. It's for everyone's good. Come on. You'll feel better. Safe and effective. Bubonic plague. Whatever. You know? It's for everybody's safety. You know, everybody deserves to feel safe. Everybody's included. And if you don't fucking do it, we'll fucking fine you. If you're prosecuted for failing to comply with the legal instruction to complete the census, you could be fined up to $364 a day. So this is so good for the country, and everyone should want to do it so much that they're going to fine you for doing it, for not doing it, right? But remember, it doesn't have to come to that. It actually says this. Now, I could not conceive of speaking to people so fucking patronisingly. It just doesn't. In my most sarcastic fancy, and sarcasm is one of the fucking services I offer, I couldn't. You know, hats off, whoever's done that and actually printed it and published, you know, or published this online. Bravo to you, because you have plumbed new depths of patronising, right? While we're on the topic of fines, it says, it's also an offence. While we're on the topic, oh, hang on, before we talk about sports or the weather or viruses or sports or viruses or what else do they hear on the news, or wars or viruses or sports or the economy or you know what a professional golf player's knob is doing or where it's doing it, or viruses or whatever else we talk about. But hang on, just while we're on the topic of fines, because we can get off it in a minute. Just before we stop on that, you know, I don't want to be the one to have to bring this up, but while we're on the topic of fines, it's also an offence to knowingly provide false or misleading statements or information in the census. Yeah, no shit. Well, I filled mine in. It actually turned out easy, and this is something I didn't know about when I did that last video about this just the other day. It turns out I wasn't home. So that's what I've ticked. And then actually the form contradicts itself quite a bit, I found. And I spent quite a bit of time, you know, wondering how they've got it seemingly wrong. Because it said, unless I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but it said only fill yourself in as person one if you're home on that night. Well, I wasn't home, so I'm not person one. And then all I told it was there's normally so many people here, but tonight there's going to be none. And wherever I was staying, they've included my person's details on their census, right? So they still, but on my particular form, they don't get anything bar my fictional name in all capital black American Sign Language letters. They get my person's date of birth, the registration date, that is. We know better. And the address or whatever, that's stuff they can get off the licence anyway. So that's that. But and now if you're prosecuted for this, you could face a fine of up to $3,640. So they either want your information, and I have a strong suspicion. Now, I could be wrong. I could be a conspiracy theorist. I could be a tinfoil hat-wearing nutcase who deserves to be shot to death by the police, and then they cook up some story about how I ambushed them, or, you know, they put in the paper how I was wearing camouflage clothes, like that's relevant, you know, whatever. They can paint whatever picture they want. They do try to tell people how to think, you know. Hey, you. The Light Australia is the uncensored truth. They don't pay me to advertise them. I buy their papers and hand them out because we change the world conversation by conversation. And if you buy me a coffee between now and August 2027, every cent will go to an aerial banner that'll fly over the Gold Coast, Brisbane, the Sunshine Coast and back again and get the lightaustralia.com a whole bunch of attention that they deserve. Details are in the description. We need your help with this. Thanks. Let's get back to the content. But I think they've invested a lot of money into finding out this information, and I believe they've done it on behalf of a giant management firm. This is just what I suspect that anyway. If I didn't know any better, because, hey, these people are my friends, right? I mean, you know, we wouldn't do that for being a few days late. It's just a gentle nudge. We want to get everyone to participate in the census voluntarily. Come on. You know, so obviously they wouldn't do that. Silly me for thinking that. No, perish the thought. People, when you look at these words, it's all Admiralty speak. It's all bitch talk, suburb, submit, all this stuff, person. Man, like really, once you scratch the surface and pull that thread, I believe Thomas Anderson's book, I think he wrote it, Meet Your Strawman, is a very good place to start. But I'll be doing some more information about it soon, for entertainment purposes only, obviously, of course. Anyway, once you find that out, it's really no surprise that they speak to you so patronisingly, because the system considers you to be an invalid, non-compos mentis, and it actually, technically, considers you to be dead. Certificate of live life, and then a birth certificate. You're tied to the dock. It's all there. I could go on all day about the words, but if you want to know more about that, Peo Chang's Word Magic is another good book. A lot of it may seem far-fetched, very long bow to draw. I thought that when I read it. Still do think that about a few things, but I've learned not to dismiss things very readily nowadays, because the more I learn, the more I realise everything we've been told about certain things is a lie. So anyway, there it is from me. I'm going to have some more material coming out very soon, as fast as I can produce it and my poor long-suffering editor can edit it. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Meanwhile, don't accept any wooden coins. Adios.